There's no by becoming rich.
Take all your money, buy Bitcoin.
I say when we sell.
Wake up every morning and say GM.
GM. So, daily levels. Thursday, 22nd of August. Bitcoin seems to be building pretty nicely through this consolidation. I think it's going to hit the high over here at some point. And the question then will become, is there a sustainable trend to follow? Or is there more downside to come? I think that many of the markets, so you can see the 4-hour trend here. It's still bearish, obviously. 100, 50, 100, 200 are in the wrong order, but it's building its way up to an early cross, which is good. And that probably over the next couple of weeks would flip back to bullish if we're going to trend higher. I think the thing you want to be looking out for is the backdrop behind this comes from a dollar weakness. The dollar's really weak at the moment, like pushing down towards where you would expect the dollar to actually break down, except it has been trending down into these lows for quite a while and probably is due for a bounce. Even if it's bearish, the dollar could be due for some kind of bounce, which could actually bring a period of risk asset weakness, not strength. Right? So when you see the dollar trending lower like this, you expect risk assets to do really well. Whenever this happened last, we had November until December. We had October, sorry. We had all of November and all of December, those 2 months, the end of the year. Don't need to tell you what crypto was doing then. Absolutely flying. But then since this downtrend's been going on since June, Bitcoin has really not taken advantage of it, not reacted to it in a strong way. So the next actual indication would be to clearly break below these levels and actually lose the levels and start to trend down into the 90s, which not sure if it will in the short term. And you can see this across many of the currency pairs. The dollar has been weaker than most of them. So maybe a bit of an opportunity miss there, because the other anti-fiat trades like gold has done really well. Gold has capitalized on the dollar weakness and made a new high. And I think I'm still of the opinion this is probably a false breakout reversal coming for a quick flush back down. Stocks had a great reaction, a great rally, but this is coming to an end, in my opinion. I think it will go either here or to the highs. Probably at this point, I would say to the highs. And then I think we just drop back into our usual pre-election pullbacks. And crypto, maybe, right? So the point is, all the assets, whether it's stocks or whether it's stocks or gold, that you would expect crypto to be correlated to, have all been running, and crypto hasn't. So is Bitcoin going to do its own thing and go second and go slowly, or has it really just been showing weakness? And we've got this build up in here where it's actually still a distribution range. It's hard to say. I would say there's so much anticipation. This is probably the main thing for me. There isn't a lot of disbelief in this market, at least from my reading of it. I look around, it's still the same group of crypto people waiting to get long, getting long on every chance they can with chasing the latest thing has been Tron, like I talked about yesterday, meme coins and Tron. Aping into coins, looking for setups, saying October's the big one, Q4 is going to be big, just hold on, sharing charts. The charts can be bearish, right? And people's portfolios can be down, but I still don't see a lot of, pessimism. It's more like, okay, maybe this is it. Maybe finally we're back. So when that happens, I usually like to wait until there's a point where it seems like we're back, which is usually when you take out a high, and then look for some weakness. So I think as well, it would be right at the point actually where a lot of, it'll actually be at the point where a lot of systems will trigger to go long, which I think is above this level here. And I'll be watching out at that point, because if we lose that, then down you go, either into a higher low or into a new low. But regardless, I'd just be watching for this, because that's actually back up into the breakdown point, which hasn't been retested yet. And you would usually expect a strong reaction off these breakdown levels when they get retested, at least first time. And the fact that Bitcoin has taken so long to build this up can be good, can be a solid base that's been built. But you'll only know if that base is solid by the retest. So that's where I'll be waiting. If we take out these highs and you see that, that's clearly, well, let's not even look at the whole thing. If it takes out these highs and just falls back inside, regardless of how it goes, that's bad. If it comes up, as I think it might, and it should, if it's bullish, is a strong impulse higher, spend some time above, comes back and retests. That's strength. The other is weakness. So it's all about the nature of how price moves when it gets there. And I have the assumption again that as soon as Bitcoin goes here, everyone's just going to get fucking max long again, because that's literally been happening every single time. You can look at stuff like fear and greed, or you can look at sentiment and say, oh, it's so toxic and everyone's fighting and everyone's unhappy. That's all true, but nobody thinks it's over. People still think the bull market's coming back, and they just have to survive through summer. And then as soon as it starts to push up, you're going to see it again. At least I think. You're going to see people come out of the woodwork. Oh, let's go, bullish, Q4, let's do it. And so it just sets up a bit more of a tricky situation than many would think. I don't think it's, even from here, like a lot of it, you look at like this move compared to this move, the sentiment is nothing even remotely close to what it was here. People thought this was genuinely over because the ETFs were a big sell-off, and there was a lot of disbelief carried all the way through there. Obviously on this whole move, the whole thing was about the ETFs are going to get rejected, even though they clearly weren't, and BlackRock were playing the win. So it's more just about being mindful of where are these moves going to take us? How is it going to, let's just look at this, right? Any of these consolidations that look like they're building up really nicely after a run and then push higher, the first thing you should be watching out for is a false breakout, right? And it's not, doesn't have to be like at the top. It can be anywhere along the way. If you're watching for false breakout, that'll be your sign. Or failure at resistance, like this. Because it's very simple. If Bitcoin's going to go higher and stay higher, the closest thing that this compares to is COVID in terms of the nature of the reversal. And COVID was very, very clear. If you look at if you want to see how this should build up if it's strong, is this. COVID would build up, consolidate, build higher, consolidate, and it would slope up all the way. You just put the bands on, it's really simple. Once the bands went green, then